Hi, this is LD, and I'm over here today going to do a little bit of sharing once again. This is not a tutorial, just wanted to share a little bit on what I go through when it comes to selecting photos that I want to edit. And this was from a shoot that I did with Triel in Vegas during WPPI this year. Worked with a couple of guys, and you will see there's about 108 photos. From this, I'm going to try to get about 25. And normally I would do one or two things. And if you see in my film strip down below, you see that they're already color coded. What's great about the color code is that if I go to a rating of 5, and let me take the filters off, rating of 5, hopefully this will show it. I need to get it rated. These are images. So there's about 29 images of what Aftershoot had already selected for me. Aftershoot is probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and what Aftershoot showed. And so I'll go through some of them already, and I will look at them, but I'm going to say, okay, you know what? What do I want to go through? What am I going to choose? And what goes through my mind when I choose them? There's nothing wrong with Aftershoot's selection, but there's going to be other reasons. There's things that go into Aftershoot selection that doesn't go into my selection and the purposes that I'll have it for, because I know exactly what I'm going to probably be doing later on. And so as I'm scrolling through all these right now with the Aftershoot selection, you can see, you know, it is what it is, right? I don't think they're my strongest of the set. So I am going to turn the ratings off, and I will go into the survey mode. And what's cool about the survey mode is that you can do multiple selections, and that's kind of what I do. You know, if any of you guys have dealt with Jared Platt, he does a great Lightroom course on how to do selection, positive selections, and I recommend it to anybody. And so this is pretty much exactly what I'm going to do. For some of the stuff, I'll go into the develop mode, which I have on auto sync, just so that I can get a little bit more idea of what I'm looking at. And when I come in here, I'll probably choose this one. So this is where we're going to start going to the flagged ones. And I use the flag selection to see exactly what I get, so to speak, from this. Now, I am going to, because I like this look over here, but the cool thing with the flags, with the positive selection, is I'll go through certain ones, and there's going to be ones that stand out more to me and give a different look, a different positive feeling. So let's go through this selection right here. And what am I looking at when it comes to this selection? With these 4 images, I am going to be looking at the overall frame. How does he look in the frame? And is it interesting? Sometimes I'll look at something like this one right here, because these 2 in the middle, I'm not going to choose you guy. I'm going to choose this one on the right because it now has a little bit of character to it. So I'm going to X out of that. But these are the 2 shots that I really want to take a look at, because which one of these shots have the most potential? Right now, I'm feeling the one on the left, but I'm going to go on the one on the right, click zoom, and we'll see how does he look in the one on the right. You know, a little bit of hand motion. I'm thinking about 1/400th of a second, and I can go in tighter if I really needed to. I can go 100% tighter to see what his face is doing, and his eyes are closed. Let me see what the other shot is. His eyes are open. So now I come zoom back out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the one where his eyes are open, obviously. So that's that selection. This is another one that stand out. I'm going to choose that. Let's go these 2 right here. And this, I like both of these, right? So I'm going to keep both of them because he has motion in one and he has standing still and a pose in the other. So I'll keep both of those. I will go through and take out 4 of these. Of these 4, I like this one here at the bottom left, I like the one up in the upper left. And I think those are nice. Out of those, I think those are the strongest. The one in the upper right, I could use. I mean, it's nice, and I may select it right now, but I'm going to select it knowing that I may unselect it later. And so what's cool about this is that if you're going through and you're doing a photo shoot with a model or even with a client, you can go through and just start selecting 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. And this allows you to go through, you see I had 100 images. This allows you to go through hundreds and dozens of images really, really quick to see what do you want to actually go through and edit. I may keep this one over here on the right as a behind the scenes, as a behind the scenes shot. The reason why I chose the one on the right, because as I zoom in on him, he looks more interesting on this shot. And I'm waiting for it to clear up. These are large files. This is shot with the Fuji 100S, I think. And so these are pretty large files, so it does take a little bit to render. But when I look at the other shot, I just think that between the 2 shots, the other shot is the more interesting shot. Like his pose in this shot is more interesting than the pose in the other shot. So that's the reason why I will choose that one on the right. I try to keep them grouped as much as possible because I want to get a vibe for what I was shooting. This one on the right, and we're going to probably come back to that's frame 32. I'm going to come back to the one on the right because, you know, to get a feel of what I was thinking about when I shot that. Come back over here, and I'm on a PC, so what I'm doing when I go through these, I'm doing shift click type thing so that I can get several of them out there at the same time. If I don't like the shot, like obviously I liked it when I shot it, but sometimes when you sit there and you're like, yeah, I didn't like it as much as I did then. Right now, this one on the right, I love this one on the right, and this one in the middle. So we'll keep going. Right, choose this one on the right as well. The one on the left is cool, but I'm like right now, because Triel is such an interesting looking guy, he just exudes cool, and so because he exudes cool, I want to get that cool vibe. Now, what's interesting, I'm going to show you something that's interesting that Aftershoot did. The second shot from the left, as you were looking at it, Aftershoot rejected the shot. So I want to see, why did Aftershoot reject the shot? More than likely than not, the reason why they rejected it was because the face or the facial features were overly blurry. And you may not see this in something, and like I'm looking at this right now, it is highly blurry. And that's why Aftershoot will reject this shot over another shot. If I come back out to about 33%, it's okay. If I go into fit it, that's all right. And like I said, what I was focused on probably was these leaves over here. I don't know what I was thinking of when I did it. But that being said, this is a shot depending on what you're gonna, where I was gonna post it. If I was gonna go on IG or something like that, where it's gonna be a lot smaller, a lot compressed, I can probably save that. And I may come back to that. But this is a shot that overall, you know, I'll hold it, but I already know that it's probably gonna get rejected because I can't print off of it. And if I can't print off of it, I really don't want them. Here is another good. So this is a selection. I'll give you a good example of this. These are 10 images all shot by the stairs. And I can choose them as I see now. And this is the reason why Aftershoot is a good tool for this. I can choose them as I see now, but I don't want to do a lot of work. So this one on the right, I'm going to get rid of because it's people in the background. He looks cool here. This one looks uninteresting, so I'm gonna get rid of them. Now I'm back down to 8. And this is before. So I know what Aftershoot said. Aftershoot said that this image right here, the second one from the top on the left, is the sharper of the 2 images in the middle. And because I'm going to trust Aftershoot, I am going to click this, get rid of this one and this one, because now I want to see these other ones up closer. Aftershoot said this one over this one, but I'm gonna assume what Aftershoot saw was just them looking very similar to each other. So I'm gonna click out of that. I may keep this one right here, this one right here. We'll click out of that and click out of that. So now I'm done with these 3. And these are the three that, hey, you know what? Out of these three, I like this one over here on the right. And then we go on to the next set. And just like that, I've already done all those sets. A cheat code. So when I shot this setup, I looked at this and I envisioned this setup in black and white. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back into my develop module, and I am going to just turn them all black and white, and then go back into my library module. And the reason why I did that, because I had a vision when I shot it of it being a black and white shot. Now, this lets me know right away, I'm going to get rid of this one, I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to get rid of this one and this one. So now I have 4 shots that I'm going to actually go back and I'm going to go review them. Because they're all the same shots, I can go hit P, go back to my library mode, they're all picked, and now I can go back onto the next selection. And just like that, in a matter of minutes, we've already gone through 60 images, and we're almost done with our selection. Like I said, it's not going to be about editing or whatever. It's just a selection of what I'm going to go through and the difference. And I'll show you something I look at the end of this. Same thing with this setup right here. I like this one. Aftershoot said it was good too. I like this one right here in the bottom right. And I like this one. For me, that's good enough of this set. I'll come back over here. These 3 right here. I like the one with the valleys in the middle, right? And I'll keep the one on the right because Aftershoot said it was good. But more than likely, I am going to choose the one in the middle of these 3 because I just like the look. I like the dead on center. I like the valleys behind it. Yes, going out of his head and everything, but I like all of that. I like the aspect of that. And I think that's going to be the winner of this set. Here's 4 more shots together. And when I shot this right here, I already looked at the bottom one and the bottom right. These right here are all blurred. And so of all of these, I know the one on the right is the one that's in focus. The rest of them are probably blurred out or not look good. So it's a behind the scenes. And because I'm going to do this for the model, you know, I may keep the behind the scenes for something else for another blog post, but the and that's Tiffany. I think she's from Baltimore, and I believe that's Mike from Texas. So those are 2 people that were out there while we were shooting, and got a good behind the scenes from them. Right, that is this right here is a good behind the scenes. So now, because I have these good behind the scenes, I like this one on the bottom right better. So I'm going to unpick the one that was here. I could hit you, but I'm going to unpick that one. Let's go back out to, we've already done 80 shots. Here we go. Aftershoot liked this one, but I don't like this one because it has a little bit of blur. So I'm going to go with this one over here that Aftershoot didn't like. Go the next one to these 2, and I will, because I'm going to go look into them tighter, but Aftershoot like both of these. And it's just a difference of how they look against each other. Now, these are cool. Let me come back over here. Right, I know this is sharp because we're not even focused yet, and it is, there we go, it just went crisp. And so, and when I'm looking at the other one, I think of the 2 of them, I like this one better, right? So I'm going to go zoom out. I'm going to get rid of the one on the left. I'm going to have confidence that the one on the right is the shot that I like. And so if I go remove the flag, go through this selection right here, do that one on the left, the one on the right, come back, man, we're over on the 90th frames. All right, I'm still gonna do that one on the left. Look at this, I'm at the end of my film strip. I'm at the end of the film strip, right? And it's not always serious bad, man. I like this one right here. And when I shot this set, it was a lot of what was the background doing, right? The background is actually the hero of the set, and not so much the subject, but I wanted to create a kind of environment for the subject, which makes sense. Now, most of these are going to probably be color toned and stuff like that. When I shot this was intended to be a vertical panorama. So We're already now at 100 images. Oh man, I love this one on the left-hand side. I love the one. So these right here, all three of these are going to get selected because they're all three different looks. One straight on, one off, one hand down. So I like all three of those looks. We're going to go back through this next selection. And this next selection, oh, this one right here. Aftershoot didn't like this one. That was the second one from the left. And I love that one. That one has a good look. The one at the end, great look. So now when we come down to the end of the film strip, right, I'm going to take this third one and this fourth one. I'm going to take the fourth one, and I'll probably take the first one just to get a look and away. And then now we go to what is flagged. And what is flagged is that we got 49 of 108 photos, right? So half the photos. If I went through and looked at all of them, now I can say, okay, do I actually have a good spread? 49, I'm going to take 2 away, call that 47, because that's behind the scenes. Actually, I think I got 2, 3, 4. So 49, 45 shots. And now out of each 45 shots, I would go create a treatment, send it to the model or send it to the client and say, hey, pick X amount, 10, 15, 20 images out of this. And those are the ones now that I will go edit. It makes the process a lot more cleaner, efficient. Like I said, this is not a tutorial. This is not a how-to. This is just what goes through my mind. And I try to make it easier for my clients and easier for myself. And just like that, I can deliver to my clients. If you have any questions or whatnot, feel free to leave comments down below or reach out to me. With that, like a fat kid in dodgeball, I'm out.